a raucous crowd with us here in the Aviva Fan Studio. We want you to get involved as well. You can comment below on Facebook. You can get us hashtag Aviva Fan Studio on Twitter. We're going to be here pre-match, half-time, and hopefully celebrating that we're going to Russia right after this match. We have some very special guests as well. Ruth Fahy is with us, Wexford Youths midfielder. Andy Lee, former world boxing champion, is with us. And the Dundalk manager, Stephen Kenny, is going to join us in just a couple of moments' time. This is the team that is going to do battle. This is the team that is going to get us to the World Cup finals. And this man is the only change. David Myler is going to captain the side. He's back in place of Ewan O'Kane. Daryl Murphy starts again. Shane Long is going to take on that super sub role. Remember that Germany goal? Remember that? That is going to happen again tonight. Fingers crossed. Is everyone as confident as me? Ruth, are you as confident?
Yes, I am. Well, after talking to Stephen, maybe not as much, to be honest, but I am.
Don't mind Stephen, you can say whatever you want behind his back.
Okay. No, I am, like I said earlier, I am really disappointed Shane Long's not starting. I think he brings so much more to the team in terms of his running, his work rate. Yeah, we all know about the goal drought since February, but tonight I think he could break that. So wait and see. Hopefully Murphy proves me wrong, but I'm pretty disappointed. Well,
the last game here at the Aviva Stadium, Daryl Murphy was the hero. He got a couple of goals that night, so who knows, maybe again. Andy, we're what, 20 minutes away from kick-off? What do the players want now? Do they want calmness, or do they want somebody, do they want Roy Keane, who we know is generally there with his cup of tea and keeping quiet? Or do you want somebody who's making a rousing speech, who really has you leaving that room with the hairs in the back of your neck standing?
Probably a bit of both, I would say. If it was me, I think you'd know how big the occasion is. They don't need to be spelled out to them. But I would say they probably need to keep their heads about them a little bit. Like inside, internally, they'll know how big the match is. They know once they hit a crowd, I'm sure they're going to get a great reception. So for me, I would maybe a bit of peace and calm, but then right before you leave, G them up, get out there and go and win it.
Yeah, when the anthems are finished and when we hear that roar, when the referee blows his whistle, how long does that adrenaline last? That opening 5-10 minutes when we're probably going to see James McLean roar into a challenge with somebody. How long does that last before you find your natural tempo?
I can't say really. Ruth would probably have more experience than me. I have never played professional soccer.
On a night like tonight. Fair point.
Yeah. Get me out. I got my kit on underneath. So
good. Yeah, you might be needed.
Right winger, be ready to play.
Yeah, I mean, on a night like tonight, even looking on the pitch, it just gets your adrenaline up. As players, it's not going to drop. It's not going to drop. Of course, energy levels might drop a little bit, but heart won't drop. Desire, motivation won't drop. So it's going to be a hugely intense match from start to finish. Stephen
Kenny has joined us as well, everybody. Dundalk manager. Yay. I was worried you'd done a runner that coming back to the Aviva Stadium so soon had brought back some bad memories and just couldn't face it.
That's a low blow, Nick.
sorry to start the night.
I'm emotionally scarred still, waking up in the middle of the night. But as long as it doesn't go to penalties tonight, we'll be all right.
I know. Yeah, well, who knows? We could still be here in about 3 hours' time. So we've just been talking about the team news. Any surprises for you?
No real surprises. I think the fact that that has worked for Martin, he would feel in Cardiff, with the back four midfielder Dave Myler, that meteoric rise from him from squad player to captain. Jeff Hendrick and Harry Arter playing, supplementing the midfield. Robbie Brady, where can Robbie Brady not play? He plays everywhere. He's a marauding left back. He's a cultured central midfield player, and he plays wide on the left. But Martin O'Neill has used him wide on the right, because we don't have a natural wide right player, and he's trying to fit his best players into the team. And Robbie Brady is one of our best players. But what he has got, if he cuts in on his left foot anywhere within 25 yards of goal, he's capable of scoring. And he has the ability to score in big games. We've seen it against Italy, we've seen it against Bosnia in the previous playoff, and he certainly is a match winner, a possible match winner for us tonight. Where are the goals going to come from when you look at the team? That is the problem. And you think that Robbie Brady is capable of doing it. James McLean, of course, has been our most prolific scorer in this campaign. And also with Harry Arter and Jeff Hendricks getting forward from the midfield. Those are the people who we are hoping will supplement Daryl Murphy.
There were a lot of good things in Copenhagen on Saturday night defensively, and they were very solid and the shape kept up. It was frustrating watching them kick the ball away time and time again. Who are the players in there that at home you expect to take charge in midfield and maybe try and play a little bit of football?
I think it's different. I think it was a very, very tight venue in Copenhagen, a very, very tight venue. I think it's wide open spaces here tonight. I do feel there'll be a lot more room tonight. It's what we want to do with it. For example, they play narrow front three. Cornelius playing narrow on the right, and certainly as he did the other night, there's an acre of space for Stephen Ward down that left side. If he's encouraged to utilise that or whether he's going to adopt a cautious approach and keep the back four nice and tight, or whether he utilises that, gives us to James McLean early and creates 2v1s along that left side, gets good cross into the box, and certainly that's where the space is the way they play, because they play a winger on the left and a narrow centre forward on the right, and the space is on the left side if Stephen Ward can utilise that.
Looking at our talking points, this is pretty much the biggest game that's ever taken place in Dublin in terms of what's at stake. It all coming down to 90 minutes for a home game, the pressure involved. If you're in that dressing room, what are you saying to the players now? Are you trying to keep them calm, or are you telling them to embrace the atmosphere?
No, I think that a lot of these players have played in big games already, but ultimately none as big as tonight. We've only ever been at 3 World Cups. Only ever been at 3. Not since 2002. The impact of going to a World Cup is incredible for a player. Really incredible. It's a standout moment in their lives, in their football lives. And I think for the country, what it would do for the FEI, grassroots football at all levels, and for just that morale boost in the country, you cannot quantify, I cannot estimate what it would do. And I think, but what Martin's got to do is keep people very focused on their jobs, the tasks in hand, not to get carried away, to absolutely understand their roles within the team, and to play with that little bit of extra freedom that the space allows tonight to maybe create a bit of magic that they can. You
don't get a Genoa or a Giant Stadium or an Ibaraki without coming through the nights like this, and the World Cup is at a whole different level. Andy, what's your first World Cup memory?
I think Packy Bonner making the save was. I remember we were down in Limerick. I was staying with my cousins. We were all gathered around the TV, and you were just being a kid on the floor watching it. Everyone was packed in, and brilliant. But fond memories of 2002. That's when I would have been, in my teenage years, and I remember every match, and it was brilliant, But the loss to Spain, Kevin missing the penalty, I don't want to remind him, but
no, we do like to remind him of that.
But yeah, great memories, and it'd be great to see him again, in Russia next year.
Ruth, you're far younger than us, fellas. What's your first?
Yeah, I think childhood memories were USA '94. I remember my dad dressing myself and my siblings in matching hats, t-shirts and shorts, green and orange and white, very stylish. But yeah, 2002 then was probably the games I could actually watch and enjoy and understand a bit more. I remember crying in the penalty shootout, not to make Kevin feel any worse, but I was in tears. And yeah, imagine they got to Russia next year, it would be incredible.
Yeah. Talking about penalties then, Stephen, you can say out of this one if you want. Would you like to practice? Martin O'Neill has said that they have been practicing penalties. The Danish manager said, no, we're going to win it in normal time. We don't even need to think about that.
Oh no, I'd like to practice, 100%. Yeah, I practice it. I'd stand up, practice once, put it perfectly in the corner, walk away, that's it, job done. And yeah, that'll be it.
Have that positive
It's worked for me so far, yeah, touch wood. So.
Yeah, Stephen, does it make a difference?
Yeah, it does. I think so. I think, it was reported that Mick McCarthy at the time that he didn't encourage it or whatever, but I'm sure the players themselves would have practiced. I think we practiced the course last week, and we scored our first 3. Michael Duffy missed, and that can happen. That can happen, and I think I think it's good to practice and have 2 penalties in the locker, no one particular one that you want to take, and certainly that is important.
We have kept a lot of clean sheets during this campaign, but none of us are thinking it at the moment. What happens if Denmark score first and we have to go out and score a couple of goals? Do you react straight away as a manager? Do you make changes instantly if it's 20 minutes, half an hour in?
No, I don't think that's Martin's style, and I think there's not really, with the team selection, there's not many different ways you could play with that team. There's no one else who could play up front there, possibly bar James McLean. So I think we've not got the players without making a substitution to change the system. Okay, that's what I would feel, and I think that obviously the 3 players we have, Shane Long, scored a famous goal against Germany here coming off the bench. Shane certainly could win it for us. Callum O'Dowda has just been the new kid on the block coming in recent weeks, and of course Wesley Houlihan, who has that bit of creative magic and could be the match winner.
Yeah, Andy, as a man who nailed a few sucker punches in his time, the mentality of that, if we were to go behind, of sticking to your game plan, how difficult it is when you're in an atmosphere.
Sometimes when you're behind, you have no choice, but in boxing you have to throw, you have to go all out, go for broke, and you have to switch your mentality, and that's what could have eventually work out if they do go behind initially. throwing the lads on, going for it, and you never know what the result will be. When you have if you're behind, they'll have to go for it. I don't see any reason or any for holding back for not going for it. They have to. This is it tonight. There's no replay. There's no second chance. And if they do go, we'll go behind it. Get the attacking players on and go for it.
We have an audience here who are very excited for kickoff. We're just over 10 minutes away. We have some of our competition winners here as well from Off the Ball. Enda down here was got a couple of last-minute tickets for the best seat in the house. You got a question? A Mayo man, you can ask whatever you want.
Look, the last night we held back. Even when we cleared the ball, the whole team held back. Do you think is there? Sorry, no talk, sorry. The last night we held back, even when we cleared the ball, everyone held back in the defensive formation. Do you think is there any place to the whole team to push up, even the back line, and put the pressure on Denmark like we did against Wales to get the goal, or are we leaving ourselves open for a bit of brilliance from the likes of Eriksson to punish us?
I can go ahead. Yeah, it's a good question. I think you might see that scenario where everyone pushes on if Denmark score a goal. I think before that it's Martin O'Neill style. You're not going to see that. I don't think they'll sit as deep as last Saturday. I think he will give Brady and McLean a bit more room, a bit more space to embrace themselves, express themselves. But we're not going to see a Martin O'Neill side push on forward like that unless Denmark go ahead, and then we might see that. Hopefully that won't happen.
We're going to take a few predictions here. You're going to have to nail your colours to the mast. I'll squeeze in there between you. Andy, do you want to go first? We'll get a quick... What are you going for? Ireland first.
I don't know.
Nobody's going to take you on anyways if you go for Denmark.
1-0.
1-0, very confident. Stephen?
Nice and tight.
Go on.
I think
we're going to grind it out.
It is a very difficult game to call. There's no doubt about it. We don't know what to expect from ourselves first and foremost at home. Away we've been very consistent. At home we've been up and down. So, but you do feel the magic in the air tonight. Maybe we can create something special, and we'll go with 2-1 tonight. Okay.
2-1. We'll take that. We'll take that. And Ruth, we'll put you down here. Go on, Ruth. You're only gone for about 15 minutes.
No, before it's claimed that I copied Stephen, I said this before I even came in here. Okay, I did. I think it's going to be a 2-1. I can't believe we've broken you, Stephen, already.
Is that a Denmark taking the lead? No.
It's Ireland taking the lead, Denmark to equalise, and then go ahead 2-1. There you go.
And we need one more. Go on, make a prediction. Come up here.
No.
Enda, Mayo.
3-0. 3-0 Ireland.
3-0.
Oh my God.
The confidence levels are growing within the Aviva Fan Studio. We got some music for you now as well to really get us in the mood for kickoff. Mick Constantine is here. You're going to sing your Euro song. You got a World Cup song in the pipeline?
It's already written. Just.
You're just. We get it after the game? Take it away.
Oh, started over in Georgia, pulled it out the bag, McGeady off the left, and that's where it began. 7 against Gibraltar, the Germans next in store, and that's when John O'Shea became a god forevermore. Slipped up against the Scots, the lads kept ahead, with Germany coming over to put our hopes to bed. Well, no one gave us a chance, they said that we'd be bet. To Randolph knocked it up and Shane Long stuck it in the net, singing, stand up for the boys in green, ole ole, and a chance to dream. We're heading to the Euros, we're taking over France. We might get hammered, but we'll take the feckin' chance, singing, shoes off for the boys in green. There's one thing I know, is that there's gonna be scenes. We're heading to the Euros, we're taking over France. We might get hammered, but we'll take the feckin' chance. And now the hype is starting to build, and you can feel a sense of hope. And Eamon, John and Liam are preparing all their notes, and Bill be watching over them to keep the lads in check as they give out about long balls and not keeping it on the deck. Well, bags are being packed and flags are being made, and every day more and more will join the Green Brigade, and thousands will head over on planes, boats and cars to pack out all the stadiums and clean out all the bars, singing, stand up for the boys in green, ole ole, and a chance to dream. We're heading to the Euros, we're taking over France. We might get hammered, but we'll take the fucking chance. Singing shoes off for the boys in green. There's one thing I know, is that there's gonna be scenes. We're heading to the Euros, we're taking over France. We might get hammered, but we'll take the fucking chance. So
come on, Mick. What's your prediction, Mick?
2-1 solid, yeah, 2-1.
2-1 solid. We're all going for 2-1. We're all going for an Ireland win. Here's hoping. We're going to be back with you at half-time, and we're going to be here celebrating at full-time at the Aviva Fan Studio. Do tweet us if you have any questions at half-time. If you're watching the game, anything you want to know, Ruth, Andy and Stephen are going to be sticking with it. Hashtag Aviva Fan Studio, or just leave a comment below on Facebook. But we're going now to watch this game. Are we going to do it? Yeah!